Hi everyone. What? Yeah. Hey, is the music in the background good for you guys? Or is it too loud? I can't. Hello, 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 hello. Hello everybody. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday. Ro disappeared for a minute, but she'll be back. Because it'd be really bad if she left me here by myself. Nothing here is under $1 million. You want a puzzles cutting? $1 million. Thank you, Marmy. The music sounds good for everyone online. I'm listening to fill in the air. Hey, everybody. Aren't I fun? I look insane. What we got today? A lot of surprises, updates. The raffle's still going on. How many plants are in the store? I'll tell you this much. It's between 50 and $1 million. I look insane.
Well, you are insane. It's okay. Sorry, everybody. I forgot to set out cultures. I cleaned off the table, did a little video, all this other stuff, and 100% forgot to set out things to sell. So give me a few minutes, and feel free to chat with Kenny. I'm going to set up the tablet so he can chat back.
Insane in the membrane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I cannot see anything that's being on the screen. Can you look at my eyes? Can you see my eyes? Oh, yeah. Plant shop. That's right. That's what we are. That's what I'm here for. Planting.
Maniacs.
I was telling Rhoda that PBS is dead. And she was like, plant broadcasting system. I was like, shit. That's smart. So welcome to the new PBS. You need to trademark that shit.
I should.
Right?
All right. All right, now Kenny should be able to read. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't want to hear me.
Sorry. Now you create terrible reverb. Okay. There you go. I'll be right back.
I'm just going to dance around.
You do that.
You like my t-shirt? Oh, hi, hi, Kathleen. Just so you know, this is a rated R show. Hey, Ro.
Yeah.
One of our guests is under 18. But thank you for letting us know, Kathleen. Unfortunately, we can't keep you around because the language here gets pretty raunchy.
Kenny gets pretty raunchy. I just talk plants.
Yeah, I get raunchy.
Let's get Kenny off here. Why? Somebody about to be offended by your ass?
There's an email.
There's a what?
This one.
Move.
Sure.
All right. It looks like I left Kenny in charge for, 2 minutes? And he's already rocked the live. All right.
This 9-year-old
I'm a 9-year-old. Oh, okay. Well, you can't swear then, Kenny. Sorry, no swearing for Kenny, not an R-rated. We are happy to accommodate a 9-year-old here. We have a spare t-shirt for you in the back, remember? I'm going to have Kenny go change his t-shirt. Apologies. All right. Sorry, guys. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Seems like Kenny's wrecking stuff over here, as always. So there's that. Because there is a 9-year-old in here, we are going to accommodate them. I will do some YouTube or Palm Street shows, I think, where I don't publish to YouTube so that you guys are used to the regular chaos that Kenny and I get into. No, the problem, noobs, and this is for noobs, is that we are broadcasting on Palm Street as an 18 plus, but when we broadcast back to YouTube, when it like filters it through YouTube, because we did click that button to allow it to go to YouTube as well, it's picking some of the people that get our educational content on YouTube, and we are not 18 plus on YouTube. We're just a normal whatever. So for all of you that are used to my filthy mouth, Kenny and I are going to be good. He's got his shirt out and everything, so don't worry. We are about selling plants, and that's what we're going to do today, so we don't need to swear while we do it. If I slip up, I apologize. I do have a bit of a sailor's mouth, but I will do my best to be on our best behavior. Now, what I wanted to get for you folks today was tissue cultures. We'll talk about shipping as soon as we get some giveaways going, because I know you guys all love giveaways. Who doesn't? I think you guys, if you've been following us at all, you should be familiar with the fact that we import a couple of times a year. I laugh because this was the last time we imported, and this was in August, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, these were put in the bags July 25th. This is an international dating thing. So the way that you read a date internationally is, see, I have to look at it to remember. Day of the month first, then the month, then the year. So what we're looking at here, this is a 1607 of 25. That shows that in July 16th of this past year, it was bagged up. And it came to me August. So these have been in my possession since August. We lost a few big bills. And by lost, I mean they fell to the bottom of a cabinet and kind of got forgotten about. So we're going to try and get rid of them again today. And thank you, Marmy. I see that. Yes, it is day, month, year. I always forget. And then, I saw it flipped in the camera and confused myself. And I don't even think you guys saw it the correct way anyways. But it is day, month, year for anybody to be clear. So these have been in these bags since July. If that gives you an idea as to what happens after plants have been in bags or jars, they get a ton of roots. And sometimes they multiply and make more babies. This guy's a single shot right here. This is going to be our first giveaway G1. And I need my tape for organization. There we go. Okay, first giveaway. What TCs do I have? Today we have Alocasia Dragon Scale Albo, Alocasia Yucatan Princess Variegated, some Epipremnum Bali, 2 Epipremnum Balis, a Mexicanum, Philodendron Mexicanum, some, Morticia's up for grabs. We haven't had one of those in a while. Anthurium Renaissance, Monstera filamentosa, Philodendron Patriciae, Monstera Yellow Maryland, Anthurium Regal, another Monstera filamentosa, Monstera Delicioso Mint, and Philodendron 69686, aka Betty Waterbury. Do I have any orange Philodendron Melanocrosium? I do. But not for sale today. Sorry. They're in culture. I was trying to look. I'm looking over here at our acclimating shelf. I know that there's one that it's not far along enough. It's not far enough along in the acclimation process to be for sale yet. It's only about 3 weeks. That's nowhere near enough time for me. If you don't know, I like to keep my cultures in acclimation for a minimum of 12 weeks. I know a lot of people out there will sell them at 8 weeks. I still feel that's too small, but I'm just like that. How long is the live stream? I am not 100% sure. Since this live stream is focused on sales and since it's run through Palm Street, we will be just going until I do actually have to get off at 10. So that will be my last time. I know my alarm's going to go off. I'm going to have to go put kids in bed, and then that's going to be it for me. So up first is our giveaway, our first giveaway of the day, G1. This is an Anthurium Big Bill that has been sitting in this bag in my cabinet. It's quite clean, though. I mean, if you look at it, no contamination at all whatsoever, just a way ton of roots. And that's what happens when you leave them long for that long. So first giveaway. And because I don't have it preloaded, there will not be pictures. But we will do G1 Big Bill. And that will go live in just a minute. There's lots of buttons for me to push. You folks know I'm never prepared enough to have all this preloaded. I would like to hire somebody that would do the social media for me, but we just got somebody to do our website and write the business proposal for some things that we have going on, so I'm looking forward to that. Draw timer. We are going to do this for 3 minutes. I'm going to make you folks comment because I like to see who's out there and what you have to say. So you may either there you go. Yeah, comment. Talk to me. Only here until 8:30. Oh, I can only be here until 8 o'clock. All right. At 8 o'clock, we probably will switch over to our more recognizable R-rated format to Palm Street then. I will check to see if there are any other 18 or under at that time before we get a little ridiculous. But Anthurium Big Bill tissue culture plant. This is imported from the only person that I import from anymore. And this is giveaway G1. If you are looking for imported tissue cultures, I pushed back my import just a little bit. This is important for you as well, Gigi. I know we were supposed to ship on the 29th, but Gigi knows the weather around here. We are looking at, I don't know, this week it was below 0 Fahrenheit. So I think there were a couple of times we were looking at like -1 or -2. So I delayed. Everything is fine for my import, but I delayed it just because safety of plants, which leads me to shipping on the live show that we're going to talk about real quick before we get into selling. So let's see. Pick me. I always pick you, darling. Shameless, it's good to see you. We haven't seen you in here for a while, so I will always pick you. We do have some experiments coming up that I will need some regular folks for, but I'll let you know more in a video when I'm finished formulating it. All right. You just got another part-time job as a social media manager for a website. Congratulations, Marmy. That's awesome. I may need to consider you for that because I think you would all be perfect. The problem is, well, if we have somebody photograph here, I don't know, message me. We can talk about that. That would be awesome. You're excited for that alocasia. Yeah, we don't have a lot of alocasia right now. We're just getting out of the plan where we were not tissue culturing for a little while because of our new fume hood and into them producing babies again. So we'll have a lot more babies coming up. Got the -7 a few times there. My goodness. Are you doing potted plants later too or just TCs? Yes, we will be doing potted plants later and we have a ton of great stuff. This is our shiny, beautiful, variegated alocasia shelf that we will definitely be featuring today, as well as over here, a whole bunch of Monstera that have not been inventoried yet. So take advantage of the fact that I don't have them scanned in and I want them off the shelf before I have to do it. But we always start with tissue culture, and there's not a ton of tissue culture today. Probably just what it will take us to get through in this 30 minutes. But I want to finish talking shipping here. So, as everybody agrees, it has been crazy cold for anybody in the north. Even some of you folks in the south, Florida got hit. I saw people that had Anthurium that they left outside all winter, which blows my mind. But I guess if you live there, that's what's going to happen. And they actually had snow on them, and that was sad. It was sad to see because it looked pretty devastating. Now, having had cold snap, like I had a furnace go out in our old place, the heat went out in our old place, and I had my collection that was on that side completely lose to cold damage, almost completely lost to cold damage. I can certainly empathize with anybody who's dealing with that now. And as far as shipping, I'm not shipping until it's above 0. That's kind of really my cutoff. As far as the weather goes, it looks like it's warming up this week. So Monday and Tuesday look good for me. If you are still sitting at below 0 Fahrenheit, if you're in the negatives, delay shipping. You can combine shipping with stuff you buy next week. I've got no problem with that at all whatsoever. It is recommended that you do that or have it held at the post office. That's another great option because it's not sitting in your local mail truck all day. You will need to buy heat packs today for any purchases. So that reminds me to go ahead and pop those up there real quick. It's not optional, friends. It's too darn cold. Insulation comes free automatically, so don't worry about that. But the heat pack is needed right now. You need both to work together in order for your package to arrive safe. Since we are in the 20s, as long as the weather is accurate, I forgot, we're up to like the 10s and the 20s. If that is accurate, tomorrow when I start shipping, I will ship unless you ask for us to hold. And there's no charge to hold or anything stupid like that. There's just the regular, we'll try again next Monday and Tuesday. We only ship Monday and Tuesday. Good question, Liz Powell. Local pickup is always available. We were not open this Friday in support of Minnesota, and Saturday Gavin was sick. So we weren't actually open this weekend, but we most certainly will be this weekend. It is my long weekend working, so I'll probably be here a large portion of the time as well. Me and my partner switch weekends on which we both take turns working a lot. All right, we're going to start getting into tissue culture now. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. Kenny's over here cracking up. If you are coming to the store, I always recommend message us first because there's not a good way to let everybody know when we're closed. I do posts, but sometimes people don't see them until days later, and it's not like with an illness you can make the post knowing that you're going to be sick. I mean, I could have made a post ahead of time with Minnesota. That was kind of on me. But the other one, totally unforeseeable in advance. So I don't know how to tell people. Message the company number, I guess, would be the best way to do it to make sure we're here, or make an appointment outside of our open hours or during our open hours. I'm readily available, but I'm usually at home with my kids, which is about 5 minutes away. All right, that covered all the boring stuff. Let's sell some cultures. Since we had some eagerness to see some tissue culture alocasia, that was the first request. We're going to start out with this crazy jar of alocasia dragon scale albo. So I'm going to let you know why I'm calling it crazy, because I actually put 3 of them in here. But that was in December, and they did not come out of multiplication media as quickly as possible. So you're seeing some multiplication down here. These will turn into plants. Don't take them off. I highly recommend you don't take these off the plant when you plant them. But look at all these crazy roots. They're all sorts of up the side of the jar. And there are 3 alocasia dragon scales in here. They are lightly variegated. I think I did a lightly variegated, a highly variegated, like a very highly variegated, and then I did a low variegation down here, which is weird because I think the low variegation is growing the slowest. That's backwards. But the one up here looks like it definitely has variegation, so you've got that going for you. Either way, this will be our first one up. Let's see. I missed some stuff here. Nice to see you. I'll send a DM. Sounds good, Shameless. Whenever I do autocorrect, it pauses the live stream, so I'm not going to chat anymore. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but if you do have any questions, let us know. You always know I have something to say. Well, noobs. All my plants have been so unhappy this winter. It's awful. Marmy, we're feeling that, especially with anything anywhere near a window or a door. I didn't post a video yet, but my one door actually froze shut, and I think I weirded somebody out when they came out last week, just being me, because the door was sticking and he kind of pushed it. And I said, "Oh, is the door frozen shut again?" And then he looked back at me and then I just weirdly laughed because that's how I roll. But it's weird. Like, we're having a lot of issues and anything near the front. And I'm worried about my carnivores because they're not really set up for this. So we'll see. Images of show the plant tissue culture before my dead time. That is perfect. That is something I would put myself to sleep at your age because I'm just nerdy like that. But tissue culture wasn't nearly as available. And I forgot to list this listing, didn't I? Sitting here talking about plants and forgot that technically this is a plant sale. Plant sale!
Get to work.
Yeah, tell me to get to work, Kenny. Kenny's over here listening to me, spacing out. I put on some really good music. So I'm a huge fan of the Gorillas, and they have amazing albums. And Kenny was unaware of the gorillas, and I was like, what? So I get to relive them all again, watching Kenny see them for the first time. And speaking of a what moment, I'm going to go ahead and start this at $1. This is an Alocasia Dragon Scale Albo, friends. She's just a little weird, and she is in a Starbucks coffee jar. That's how we roll around here. So I know I didn't even pay for this jar. That's why you get a $1 start on this guy. All right. The jar with the Bambino Oria had like 4 plants and 3 sprouting corms. It was wild. That's how this guy is going to be. As I showed you, there are a bunch. These are going to pull into plants eventually if they survive. They're very variegated. They're very light. So it'll be interesting to see. But the mother plant, this guy up here, the one with the roots, is the one that you're going to make sure you plant the entire thing. I would even lay this down a little on its side so that it's spread out rather than tucked down. That'll give all of these the best chance to pop up from the soil. It may make the top one grow crooked, but I mean, that's up to you. This is your jar, not my business. This guy's going to be really easy. Just plop it into the soil and let her grow. This guy is going to be pretty easy as well. Pop her in the soil and let her go. So there you go. That is an amazing price. Potted Pebbles. You got that guy for $10. All right. Everything today is an in-house tissue culture other than the few big bills that we're going to sling. I am going to go ahead and pop up a few big bills. All right, big bill number 1. Because I have more than one, I actually have to put a number on this or I will get confused. Okay. Oh my God, to hear the girls for the first time again. I know, it's one of those bands that you forget. Oh, wait, I missed this. Okay. Upgrade. I'm the only one chatting right now, so fine. It doesn't pause the video when I'm watching you all and all watching you short-faced, droopy eyes. Okay, so yeah, I think that is, as Marmy has mentioned down below, I think that you can't see the comments from Palm Street because you're on YouTube. I think that you're only person commenting on YouTube. And when I answer somebody's questions, now that I know that, if there are questions that come up, I will make sure that I actually read the full entire question out loud rather than just kind of mumble, which I have a tendency to do. So we will make sure that I do that. So thanks again for Marmy for catching that as well. All right, so big bill number 1. This is going to be another $1. And it is an anthurium. If you have not seen my big bill, it's beautiful. And it's just about to start showing ruffles. I'm almost positive it's going to show ruffles soon. At least that's my hope. I have to restart the app, the Palm Street app. So give me 30 seconds on my tablet. Luckily not where I'm seeing you guys, but we've lagged on here for a minute. Disconnected, did something. I don't know. I'm not that techie. I'm a nerd, but not a tech nerd. Ta-da! Everybody's back. Instead of sugar plums dancing in her head, she has corms of alocasia. I know, that's a great thing to go to bed to, right? So Anthurium Big Bill, number 1. We have a second one that I'm going to release today. And then I really kind of want to acclimate the others if I get around to it. Everybody knows it. It's all about timing. But this weekend I have been home a lot because the kids have been home a lot because, of course, snow and everything like that. And I will make sure this says import TC. This is number 1. We're going to do it as a $1 because I'm feeling crazy tonight. I'm not going to say everything $1 because that Yucatan princess is not starting at $1. She's freaking beautiful. She is gosh darn beautiful. So I am definitely not starting her at $1. But this big bill is pretty indicative. Very clean. I mean, you got to remember, these cultures have been in there since July. You can still see through the media without seeing anything weird. This is what you want to see when the media is not contaminated. These roots are nuts. It's going to be one of the easiest plants ever to acclimate just because of the size of the roots and those leaves. They're gorgeous. Sleepy Gecko Frond, congratulations. Got that one for $1. Oh my goodness, guys, what's going on here? Nobody out here wants to be spendy? Well, that's okay. That's we are here for all sorts of inexpensive, but if we don't have anybody scoop up the fancy stuff. Kenny's rolling his eyes. Oh, shoot. All right, up next is going to be the last alocasia that we have for today, in vitro. So again, once we get through the in vitro plants, we have what? 16 minutes on our giveaway. That's probably going to be about the time that we switch over, and we're going to start selling a lot of these guys. So this is an Alocasia Yucatan Princess in vitro. This is an in-house. You can tell because this is a spice jar. This is a brand new spice jar. I love spice jars so much. I went and actually bought cases of spice jars because I find them to be so cool. This is very variegated. You can see it's actually only light in the center on that one. Look at the gorgeousness of this yellow. This is probably my favoriteest leaf. Almost a perfect half moon on there. The roots of this guy are gorgeous. This is an Alocasia Yucatan Princess. Yucatan. How can I spell Yucatan? Y-U-C-T-A-N, right? Oh, I put the N first. That's why you. Gosh darn it. Did it again. Yucatan. For some reason, I really stumbled with that. I have no idea why that was so difficult. I do actually have a very gorgeous one available for sale. Let me show you. Now, don't judge. She hates this winter too. So you got to give her a little love for the fact that she does have gorgeous variegation, but also is hating this winter, but is still deciding to give me a new leaf right there. So that's from the same genetics. And this is your variegated tissue culture baby, nicely variegated in here. And no, it's not going for $1. All right, since it is me, we are going to start relatively low. I made it in-house. I mean, we do need to pay some bills, but I do want you guys to be able to get the plants that you want. So we're going to start, pick a number in the 20s.
23.
23. We're going to start at $23. Kenny picked 23. If you don't like it, blame him. There we go. All right, Alocasia Yucatan Princess. Very lovely plant. As you see, it has gorgeous variegation. I love how dark these guys get when they get mature and hard enough. Don't worry, normal leaf death, but she hates me right now and everything about life in winter. So, I should pick that leaf off. But this is what she looks like in vitro. Same genetics. This one actually looks like it'll even be more stunning with the variegation. Those newest leaves are very nicely Aurea. Very nicely Aurea babies. And then last favorite. And good roots. This one is going to be hard to mess up. If you're wondering, we have 2 different types of rooting media. I'm going to wait for that to run before I show you something else. Okay, and it's like Potted Pebbles won that one. All right, so we have 2 different formulas for our rooting almost exclusively. We have an activated charcoal media, and this is our not activated charcoal media. This one uses something called NAA, and this one uses IBA. If you want more information on my media, I would be happy to do a video on that. Let me know. All right.
What's the difference between the 2?
It's on the label. Yeah, but it only says Yuck Pin because I ran out of, because I'm writing it. Okay. See, now, Marmy, you make me explain my organization. I like these clear labels. You see how they're clear on here? I like that you can still see the plant through them. But I couldn't find them any larger than this. So I had to get really creative with the naming. But I had run out of the clear labels, and I didn't want to change this to the full name because then it'll be the only one that has Alocasia Yucatan Princess variegated on the label, and everything else is going to say Aloe Yuck Pin. So, yeah. That is the logic behind everything. It had to be Aloe Yuck Pin like everybody else with a clear label, but I was out of clear labels that day. So, ta-da! My insanity. Sorry. Any Watsoniana pink? No, we don't have any Watsoniana pink. The new pink ones that we have coming up, not today, acclimated plants that we have are going to be the Alocasia Pink Black Velvet, Alocasia Heart Balloon. I don't think we have any Bambinos right now. I know I have one acclimating, but it's not ready. We will have pink Sanderiana eventually. I'm still waiting to see if they turn pink. I'm a little bit weirded out by the fact that they're still green, but some things change. Who knows? And that is it for pink Alocasia, I think. But no Watsoniana. The only Watsoniana I had didn't really variegate. Hey, Marmy, You had one of those. How did that work out for you? Didn't you get like my first Watsoniana, or didn't I give it to you? Or I don't remember how that worked out, but I have a feeling you have that plant. Mine, I don't know if it's the winter or what, but nobody's like the ding. All right. Oh, it's not on the label. Yeah, exactly. That'd be a cool live. Yeah, we will definitely be doing some fun lives. We're switching to multiple platforms as well. I have a poll on my Facebook social media right now to see what plants we're going to cut live. We are doing a YouTube only video Monday, May 9th, February 9th, I want to say. February 9th, not May. My goodness. I'm thinking spring at I don't know. I put it in the poll, and you get to choose what plants I'm going to cut. That's going to be our next live on the UB2Bs. And I did have to be vague about the naming. You know how social media is nowadays. You really have to be careful about wording. So if I'm acting especially weird, it's to adjust to what social media wants. Okay. I love how I am about it. Well, there you go. I am a little bit weird about it. How insistent. It didn't like my word. Yeah, because we are posted on YouTube, it is being, I mean, we're going to have to be a little bit careful in this one. So it didn't like your word at all. Don't worry. Oh, God, guys. Plant drama real quick before I sell more stuff. I am sorry. I have to tell you about the plant drama. Let me tell you something while I'm telling you about the plant drama. Because I think some of you already know about the plant drama that's in here. Okay. Anthurium regal. We'll go to anthuriums next because we only have 2 for sale, and we'll get through that real quick. Okay, in vitro tissue culture, in-house anthurium regal. These guys are so beautiful. I have a very large regal. We did attempt to pollinate it. I was about to use dirty words. Sorry for the pause. We attempted to pollinate it. Kenny and I were very bad. We turned something completely innocuous into something that was not
eyes wide shut.
It was eyes wide shut. We had a good time. The regal did not. Did not pollinate. But either way, I did post some pictures, I think, from that day of my leaf right now off of my anthurium regal. It's larger than my head. It's larger than Kenny's head, and we all know that's big. I'm kidding. I love Kenny.
Wow.
It's one of the biggest leaves. I think it is the biggest single leaf that we have here in the lab. It's gorgeous. But this is a baby. Anthurium regal. Look at her. We finally have them. It took a while for me to get them in culture. You can even see it's going to be a magnificent plant because of the ribbing on here. I don't know many other people that have a whole ton of anthurium. And I made it. It's mine. So, as such... What? He wants to sell it for $53. I'm not going to beat you guys over the head just because you're not going to find another anthurium regal. Maybe. I mean, I guess other people are probably trying to tissue culture it, but it's mine, so it's better. But I'm not going to charge you $53. This is anthurium regal TC. It is our only one. I am going to charge you or start the bidding off at $13. It will be beautiful. I have a bunch that are acclimating, so for anybody that wants to see the acclimated ones, they are coming along very shortly. And now, while you are bidding on this gorgeous TC with gorgeous roots, look, it has roots, nice root system, I will tell you all about the tea. Okay, so there is a very large Pittsburgh plant group. Pittsburgh Plants Buy Sell Trade, I think is its name. And I'm not afraid to say the name because whatever. It was created by another plant shop owner here named Lindsay. She owns the place called Ruby Flora. It's a great plant shop. I have no beef with Ruby at all, or with Lindsay. Sorry, I called it Ruby. But Ruby Flora is a great place to get plants that are out of the big nurseries and out of Florida and stuff like that. She has large plants. She has a decent selection. I highly recommend that if you're local to Pittsburgh or even if you want something like that, Ruby Flora. I know a lot of people are like, don't talk good about your competition. She's another small business. And I mean, I don't know. I just don't like talking crap about people. And I don't feel like I need to be like, don't spend money at other places. She has stuff I don't. And we focus on different things. I'm a tissue culture lab. She's not. She does like lots of big plants, which we have some, but, you know, that kind of thing. So Lindsay created the Pittsburgh plant buy-sell trade, I believe what it is called, and grew it for quite some time. And then there was drama I'm not going to get into, in which Lindsay stepped down and handed the group off to somebody. And the person that she handed it off to was a non-planty person that she felt would help end the drama that was focused around every admin that created the first division. At that time, other Pittsburgh plant groups came into being. We've got the Pittsburgh plant community. That's a decent group. Also very, the modmins and stuff like that, I think works at Ruby Flora. The admin works at Ruby Flora. She's a great person as well. Again, not talking crap about any of these plant people. I think they're great. The only people that we are going to talk about crap about is Bonnie J. Arnold, who received that Pittsburgh plant group. I was created as a modmin, an admin. I think I was the only other admin, or maybe I was just a modmin. I don't remember the terminology. When it came to, I guess like last year or something like that, 2 years ago, a couple of years ago. I don't remember time frames. It doesn't work in my brain. So I was made a modmin. And at one point in time this last year, there was a personal issue between me and another plant person that's local. And it really came down to me and her lacking communication and me feeling taken advantage of and her never acknowledging that she did that. And so that was the excuse used by Bonnie to say that I was not following the plant community guidelines, and she kicked me out as a modmin. And I was notified by other people that I was no longer modmin, and I went and asked her, and she doubled down and was totally like, whoa. So now, not only am I banned from the group, but the mention of scalpel and stem in that group will get you banned, as well as the mention of Palm Street, because apparently she had bad shipping one time. So you cannot mention Palm Street in there because one of her purchases, she had a bad time. So now it's like that. And then the list of rules, like you are not allowed to say African violet or Chinese money plant, despite the fact that we have had both people of African descent and people of Asian, specifically Chinese descent, say that that is not a racist name. Like, we understand that the Tradescantia's name is problematic, or the Hoya carnosa, extremely problematic. Those are about subjugation and racism. Calling a plant where it's native from is not offensive to the people, from what I find. I mean, Bonnie is as white as I am. So it's hard for us. We have to listen to the people that actually experience life the way that it is, being a person of color. And according to the people of color that I've spoken with, she is definitely off her rocker. So be cautious. Feel free to join the group for the drama. There are no great sellers in there anymore. Everybody has moved over to our group, which is called Pittsburgh Plants and More. And we are Greater Pittsburgh. So we are happy to ship in what I would consider one zone shipping. So you can join the group if you're local in one zone shipping. So West Virginia, Maryland, Virginia, New York, probably as far as New York. You are all welcome here in Pittsburgh Plants and More. Oh, and you can't ship in the other group either. You're not allowed to ship at all. But there are some people that are mobility limited here in Pittsburgh that still want me to ship. So, it's just one of those things where we're happy to accommodate plant people and not make tyrannical rules, because we have the biggest Pittsburgh plant group. It's actions like these that take away the joy from plant collecting for so many people. And
if you make us dinner, we'll deliver.
If you make Kenny dinner, apparently he's going to rent a car and drive it to you and get a driver's license in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Kenny's out here making sense again. All right, I'm done on that whole rant. That's as much as I'm going to talk about the drama, because I can't even divulge more about what actually happened between me and this other person who used to be a dear friend of mine. But the biggest irony and my favorite takeaway from this is the person that created this drama and had me kicked from the big plant group, removed as modmin and kicked from the great big plant group, is now also kicked from that plant group. So boom, karma's a bitch. Oh, karma is rough. Sorry about that. I was in the flow there because I was enjoying the karma that was enacted all within like 4 months. And I just sat back and was like saying nothing. So, it's the best way it goes. Oh, all right. I'm going to sell this and read some comments. Up next, a Philodendron mexicanum. It is the only one that we have for today, but I have them in culture and they look great. She's a little wonky because she kind of decided to do her roots up above I hate when they do that. I think sometimes it's me not tucking it in enough. But in this case, I know for a fact I tucked in any roots that were like, because I'm really trying to be conscientious of that. So sometimes I think they just like going up in culture. I'm not sure. The thing I do know is because I'm not adding excessive gibberellins and stuff like that, my cultures don't look as pretty as other people's. They're just healthier. All right. Philodendron mexicanum TC. Nicely rooted. I'm going to go ahead and pop her up. All right. Philodendron mexicanum in vitro. There are actually 2 plants in this jar. If you take a look right here. Woo! Kenny says peace. All right. See, there's one big one right here. That's the original one I planted. Nice root system. And then you see this little doodly dude up here. I can't really tell without splitting, like opening the jar, whether or not you're going to want to split them now or split them later. But they will grow into one of the most beautiful Philodendron mexicanums. All right. There's enough room at the table for everybody to eat. See, that was my thought too. And I try and be supportive. Any local business is going to see me support them. What you will not see me support is large business. I work very hard on not mentioning large businesses that we do have to work with sometimes, only because corporations have gotten out of control. That's all I'm going to say before I get shut down. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate anybody who knows me knows that that's just the way I am. I'm not greedy. I'm not out to hurt other people. We should all be able to sit at the table. That's the problem. There is enough resources out there for everybody to be sitting at the table if certain people weren't being greedy. That's just the way I'm going to throw it. Because everybody could afford fancy and rare plants, or everybody could afford the common things that we all need. I'm not going to go farther. This is a political show for sure. And if somebody's trying to sell you the idea of scarcity, they're trying to scare you. So you work and stay quiet. Congratulations! Pretty Pebble, you got that one. That was our first giveaway. It was an Anthurium Big Bill. I'm going to do one more Anthurium Big Bill because you folks have me chatting for quite some time, and I still haven't gotten through half my tissue cultures. I was talking to you, so, you know. We're going to do one more in vitro Anthurium Big Bill, which puts me down to what I want to acclimate for later. So that will probably be the last one that we're offering today on the show. So make sure you enter this giveaway if you are interested in G2. Anthurium Big Bill TC import does need acclimated. If you are not sure what acclimation means or what the process is, we have videos for that, as well as our customer service support. We are always here to help you. So make sure to reach out to us. I love to hear from you folks. It may take me a while to get back to you. Just depends on what our backlog is and everything. But I will always get to you and answer your questions. I do just request that you have patience. This is not I have a family. This is my only job, technically. But not only do I do the live sales, I do the tissue culturing, and I have a family at home that I like to actually spend time with and not pay attention to my phone. So I can't play games if I'm paying attention to my phone. Just saying. And then I get beat. The next thing you know, somebody takes my Mario Kart record, and that's a problem. Because I should only be beaten by one person in the house. And he doesn't want to play with me anymore because he's a teenager. So the other person that plays Mario Kart in our house is not ready to beat me because he doesn't have the hand-eye coordination yet. Not better. My record did get smoked the other day because I wasn't paying attention. I got to go get my stuff done and put business down and get back my record. Kenny's laughing at me because that's just how it be. Video games is probably my second most favorite thing in the entire world. My kids are big into anime and video games because we love that. All right, Anthurium Big Bill. This is G2. Make sure you go ahead and enter for that guy. And I'm going to read some comments and put up a plant for sale because yet again, I'm busy here chatting. We'll do our last two phylos. We'll start with the Philodendron patriciae. We will have these later for sale. If you've not heard of Philodendron patriciae, you need to go Google yourself what a mature leaf looks like. She is a Spiritus Sancti, but better. High humidity lover, though. If you don't have humidity, you are not going to do well with this plant. Make sure she goes in a cabinet, or, I mean, you're going to need her in the dome to acclimate, but this will need a cabinet all its life to fully look beautiful. I have an update photo from someone that makes our Patriciae look good in her tent, but I haven't actually posted it yet because that requires time to prepare those. So, Philodendron Patriciae. As far as I know, I am the only one to have these in culture as well. I have not seen anybody else selling these. This is cut from my plant. My personal plant almost died from the process and has never looked the same. So I don't have a good Patriciae to show you personally. I have some 3-inch pots that look cute. They haven't really started to show their leaves. And that happens sometimes in tissue culture. If I cut too many nodes, or if the plant doesn't come back from that cutting, I lose it. And I did lose the mother plant, my Patriciae. She's not totally dead. She's in nubbins. She's been in nubbins for about a year, so fingers crossed she eventually stops being a nub and does some fun stuff, because these plants, when they are fully grown and mature, they look fantastic. All right, in my activated charcoal media, very cute philodendron. If you don't have it in your collection, I highly recommend you put it in yours. So there is that. She's so cute. All right, I'm going to read some comments. You had no idea potted pebbles. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I don't talk about it. I mean, I do occasionally rehash it when sometimes I'll get messages from people like, why did you let the person that accused you of that still in your new plant group? And I rehash it sometimes, but it's nuts. May she indeed have the day she deserves. I'm sure that she is. Some people just end up getting it karmically because they behave like that all the time. So there's that. Congratulations, Shameless. You got the Patriciae. Yeah, that lady was crazy. We brought up African violets as a joke to her, and she took the bait. Of course she did, because it's not about, like, if somebody was just doing it out of concern, they would, have a conversation with somebody about why they're concerned about it. But at no point in time will she say anything more than, it's a problematic name, and I don't allow it. I don't allow it. And if you ever saw the screenshots, they're floating out there somewhere. If you ever saw the screenshots of how I was just kicked out and then brought, when the screenshots in the private Modmin group that came after, there was 100% admitted that she just made up stuff. And it was great. And I get screenshots of that because I'm awesome and everybody loves me. I almost immediately got screened. People are like, hey, ding, 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 ding. So whatever's going on in there, I know. And you could kick out, you would have to literally do the same thing that you did. This is to Bonnie. Bonnie would need to do the same thing she did with the mod team. She would need to raise the ground. She literally removed every admin and mod except for herself. And she would need to do the same with the group in order for me not to be there. So good luck, girl. You won't have 5,000 members if you did that. Now, would you? All right. Philodendron. This one says 69686 because it fits on the jar a lot better. When I first tissue cultured mine, it was called a 69686. They have since given it the name, the Betty Waterbury. Yeah, I actually put this in culture like 4 years ago. I was one of the first people to have it, and it's been in culture. And I wish I could pick up this beast. I'm going to show you. She's not too far out of the way. I haven't shown you a big plant in a while. I do own them. All right, this is my 69686, a.k.a. the Betty Waterbury. This is the exact one that I cut. This is how far she's come along with maturity. Back in the day when the UPI, the Philodendron UPI, cost like $1 bajillion, this was called the poor man's UPI because it was significantly cheaper than the UPI, but it still has the long lobe and distinctive bunny ears. See? Bunny ears. Shush, Kenny, shush. Anyhow, Betty Waterbury, that's her. That's my big boy. That's as big as we've gotten since being cut. She took real well in culture, and we will have more coming out on a regular basis all the time, as we do sometimes. There's my bye-bye. Why does she look like she's in multiplication media? Why do I feel like this jar should not be here, despite the fact that it has a root? We'll just auction her anyways, because I know I have more. panics and runs back to cabinet to make sure she has more. Do I have more? Do I have more? This isn't the only jar. We did have great losses because there was almost 2 or 3 months where I didn't tissue culture at all. We had a lot of losses because I fell behind, and we did lose some cool stuff, which I am a little bit sad about, but that's how it goes sometimes. Philodendron. I'm going to call it the Betty Waterbury because that's what it is. And she's awesome, and nobody else has her in culture that I'm aware of. A lot of these are probably coming out in culture by other people, so if I say that and you've seen it, apologies. I did it first. Hopefully, probably. I don't know. She does have that crazy root going up here, so I'm not worried about the acclimation process. There are roots on this guy. But it does look like she is in multiplication media and has been in here since October. That's not that bad considering. Oh, goodness. Pretty sure you've mech recommended to your store and their group a few times. Okay, Potted Pebbles, don't do that anymore because they will boot you. There is now a girl in our new group, the Pittsburgh Plants and More, that literally just came over because they booted her for attempting to recommend me and Palm Street. So that's where that group is. Tell me that isn't on par with some of the political things. You don't agree with me? Goodbye. We're having a discussion. I mean, most people, I think, would agree that life is better when people are different. And I like different people. And I like people that will talk and not just be, I can't think of good words for that. But I think you all know where I was going with that. So there's that. Kenny says within walking distance, he'll deliver. Walking distance is like 5 blocks. No, less than that, huh? He did really good yesterday. I shouldn't put him down. My goodness. I had him walking everywhere. Sometimes I tell Kenny it's for rehab, and I'm just feeling really lazy.
I know.
Hey, James. Good. How about you? How's the Appalachians treating you? All right. I saw their post about your shop and left the group today. I know. Craziness. Thank you, Growing with Alyssa. It's so stupid. They're destroying a group for no reason. Was the post today? I haven't seen it. It was Friday. Yeah, it all happened Friday. Any more big bills? Yeah, I got a couple more big bills. I can run another for you. We'll do one more since it is a special request, and then we're going to do our 2 Epipremnum Bollies that we have. Let me find a nice looking one. This one's nutters. Do you want a bundle? So we have one that's like, because these have been in here since July, in case you missed that part. These have been in here in the bag since July. These are imported from Thailand, and I lost track of them off of my last import that came in August. And so that is why they look this way. So your options right now would be a big bill that actually contains 3 big bills in there, it looks like, or this other big bill that just has one of the most crazy, it's not quite as crazy as the root system for the last one or the giveaway, but it is pretty darn crazy. Up to you. I will run both if you want. I just scrolled to find it. That's wild to post and then turn off comments. Oh, of course. You can't have people comment because they would be discussing. And if people can communicate with each other, you could find common ground and understand that the whole thing is nutters. So thank you. I will challenge you to a game. Awesome. I'm down with that. I love the game. This is my first time in the live. Obviously, if I didn't love the game, I wouldn't be worried about my record, right? We'll talk about that some other time, though. But I am a big Nintendo fan. And for those of you that want to play live, I am online. But yeah, I don't have a lot of time to play, so I'm not online a lot. But when I am, I like to be uninterrupted, don't we all? This is my first time on live. Do you make TCs? I do make them myself, Potted Pebbles. Well, I do also import, so I will always make clear whether or not it's an import or whether it's an in-house. So these guys, the reason I'm holding them up like this is because these guys are imports. If it's in a bag, it's a clue. If it's in a jar, like a glass jar, probably me. If it's in a bag and it looks like cute, then it's probably not me. If it looks in a jar and it's something really rare and cool, but it looks like it hasn't been overloaded with gibberellins, that's me. So I will always be clear to let you know whether or not it has gone through the shipping process and living in bags unnecessarily. Also, we are doing an import order that got delayed. So if anybody still wanted to hop in on that, I'm pushing it off for at least another week. I mean, we're up in the 20s, but by the time that it arrives, it looks like we're going to be back in the zero if I was to ship this week. So push it off another week. Fingers crossed. Anybody want to hop in on that? Let me know and I'll email you the list real quick. Venom. I need to wait, but I'm curious if we have them. We do, and you might be surprised about our pricing. If you're looking for acclimated, we have them here. If you're looking for them in vitro, I don't have more available right now. In vitro stock is my biggest problem. That's why most of it sells on this Palm Street Live if it hasn't already sold wholesale. So we are working on getting our numbers up as well, which requires regular tissue culturing and the kids not to be home like half of the week and then on a 2-hour delay. I didn't get any culturing done this week. So in about a month and a half, there's going to be a little lag where I don't have a bunch of cultures. I think luckily that should pan out just about right for our imports. We'll see. Fingers crossed. All right. Venom. We answered that one. Forking wrenches. That's what I'm saying, Marmy. Thank you so much. New News Nursery, I know that I have to answer you. I did not have a chance to do that. Sweet Bloom Glow Up, I don't have Malo Albo, but I do have Sinuata Albo, and I do have those available, and I could add them to the live today in vitro. I don't have any acclimated. So I know they're a little bit different, but I just feel it was very authoritarian, and that's what it's all about, controlling the other group. Any acclimated Monsteras or Micans, we have an entire row of Monstera right here and a whole bunch of Micans, Halo Micans. I think we might have a mint available today too. Last week was brutal school. I know, and every day was different. It was like, oh, they're going to school. No, they're not. Oh, they're a 2-hour delay. And then half the time it was like, how am I getting them to school? Because of course I'm not going to tell you more about my district because if I did, you would know where I live and I'm not doing all that. Because we are very unique. We have a unique situation that makes our lives a little bit more difficult in our district. Let's just say there's no buses. I just gave it away anyways, didn't I? Well, luckily you all love me. Anyways, I will not be mentioning that again. Mistake. But it creates so much chaos. It's so horrible. And it's horrible. I'm sorry. I'm having PTSD from this week. I worked until 2 a.m. the last couple of days. I would come in as soon as my partner got home and came and worked. And I can't do it on a weekday because I wake everybody else. Yes, no one shovels their sidewalks. The kids are trying to walk to school. There's mountains of snow because at this point, we're into the feet of snow. So everywhere you go, you got little mountains of snow. And if you're not doing your sidewalk, people are walking in the street and it's dangerous. And anyways, so that's my rant about this winter being a good winter, which I love snow. I'm not complaining about the snow. It has more to do with the fact that we're not used to dealing with it anymore because I can't even remember the last time we had a decent snow, like a snow like this. It had to be one of the blizzards in the 90s or something. Epipremnum Bali variegated. This is the fangly one. So we will start this guy off at $1, and I'm going to stop talking and start selling it again. Kenny's laughing at me. You folks know I just love to talk. I love to talk about plants, and I love to talk to like-minded people. And being on here, especially when I haven't been on for a couple of weeks, I missed you guys. I really did. I
tried.
He did try last week. My goodness. I was totally coming in. And by the time I woke up, I went home like Saturday. Everything's fine. And I was like, okay, it's going to be fine. No matter what it is, I'll just drive the Jeep and I'll be fine. I can get in. And then I opened and like they hadn't even plowed and the snow was up past like the front bumper. And I was like, okay, no lie. Please stay off the roads. But I did miss you folks. Miss chatting plants and even telling you the plant drama, which I was not trying to be involved in at all. I like reading other people's drama. I don't like to create it, but there we go. This was the first one. It is a $1 start. I do have a prettier one that is very gorgeous. Right here. What's happened in this, because they have been in here September, they function differently. This one has run out of nutrients and has decided to go into like a saving mode, so it's not producing anything new but roots. So it's looking right now for somewhere to go. This one had a decent set of roots and they have both not been moved since September. So number 2 has a decent set of roots, and it did to begin, but it didn't continue making roots. It worked on making very gorgeous leaves. So keep an eye out for number 2 if you're looking for something. This one will be gorgeous, but this is your $1 start because it is not gorgeous at the moment. It will be though. Do you folks want to see one of our beautiful Bali that are acclimated? I can show that off after I start this, but I need to make sure to put the number 1 because we all know I get occasionally confused. And thankfully, all of you that buy from me regularly have been very, very understanding, and I appreciate that more than I can express. Because occasionally I do screw things up. Gotten better at organization since then. Epipremnum Bali number 1. It will be a bit of a rehab. Look at those roots. This is like crazy rooted all the way down, like these roots cascading down here. It does still have a leaf that pretty much hates life. It's like, get me out of this jar. And there is new growth. So it's not dead yet. But as you see from the crisping at the tips, you're going to want to acclimate this guy as soon as humanly possible because he is going to want to come out. All right, number 1 is done. Congratulations. We'll do number 2 now. And because this one is highly variegated, we'll start her off a little higher. But everybody knows I'm not trying to beat you in the head over the price of plants. And since I do make my tissue cultures myself, I do have more wiggle room than most. I mean, that's the advantage of going and sitting down and making 100 plants at one time. And that's also why you see them come out in patches, because I've just made a bajillion of this or a bajillion of that. Yeah. All right. Epipremnum Bali. I put 5 on here. I'm not sure why I put the number 5. I don't know. Maybe it's a lucky number. Should we do something with a giveaway or something? Because I just said 5. This is the one I was showing you earlier. The higher variegated one. Definitely a couple of plants on here. So there's this string right here that's gorgeously variegated in the top of the jar. And then you have lots of babies down there. This one has less roots and more leaves, and they're all gorgeously variegated. Oh, I know why I put 5 on there, because I was going to do it as a $5 start. Epipremnum Bali variegated, number 5. I'm going to call it 5 because I'll get confused if I don't match the label. We talked about confusion. I can type, I can talk, I can remember. I cannot do all of those things at the same time, so labeling is important. And I know a lot of other sellers already preload them, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. Once we get everything into the database, we might be able to preload and not have to worry about my handwriting. All right, I'm going to read some comments while you guys look at this gorgeously rooted and gorgeous Epipremnum Bali variegated. She is one of my favorite Epipremnums faux show, and there's a lot of guys in here because of how long it's been in this jar. Okay. We did virtual for 2 days. Okay, hold on. I missed a few here. It's been a while since we had a bad snowstorm. I can't remember anything this bad since I've been in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think the 90s was the last time I saw one this bad. That would be my guess. I'm feeling like late 90s was the last blizzard. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's definitely been. It's your first time and it blows your mind. It's an hour and a half walk for some, half an hour walk for some kids. And that's nuts. Like, that seems almost inhumane. So just throwing that out there. It's so crazy. Why would they not just cancel school at that point, or at least do online schooling? That's what my kids at school did, and we have buses. That has been the discussion. I mean, the 2-hour delays on the days that they chose to do 2-hour delays were stupid anyways, because the temperature had only gone up a few degrees, and they're expecting children. I guess that at the end of the day, they know the parents are not going to make their kids walk. But then it creates all the chaos around the schools. There's no parking because they're only dug out in small areas. And for kids of younger children like myself, you absolutely have to get out of your car and drop them off. And that's if you're not lucky enough to be able to do the drive-up line. It's like 20 minutes waiting just to get near the school sometimes. It's stupid. Ugh. Anyways, all right. I wish they could. I wish they could just, like, get it all together. And thank you for being mad for us. It's stupid. They should do online. I don't know why they don't do more days online. I mean, whatever. I've already complained about this a lot. I'm always complaining about it. I feel like I'm the only one that bothers, though, since we moved here. It bothers everybody. I think everybody is afraid to talk about it, though, because you always hear the same excuses. Oh, they're only allowed so many late days. They're only allowed so many days off, or, whatever. And it's frustrating because that's a lot of excuses and a whole lot of nonsense. But oh well. Because you're not used to it. Even when you're used to it. I mean, I've been here in that particular district 10 years. So, I don't get it at all. Whatever. Sorry I left. I wanted to go play Roblox. Go have fun, play Roblox. Do you like I wanted to go play Roblox? That's what I left. I love Roblox. I have 218 days on 99 nights, just so you know. Little Roblox there. All right. It's okay. Roblox is more fun. Enjoy playing. I love Roblox. I don't blame you. Totally fun. Oh, here we go, friends. We're going to move into Monstera because that's all I have left on the table. I just haven't had a Morticia to offer you folks in a while, and that's why I kind of laughed because it's a good one. It's a good Morticia. She's cute, and I'm quite pleased. But the date on her, I mean, it's been 1 month. She could get bigger. I might hold on to her. What do you think? Monstera Delicioso Albo, named Morticia. You can't even see the variegation. I'm going to hold on to her. Sorry. She needs to get bigger. She needs to grow up. 2010 Snowmageddon. Amen to that. Have fun playing. We had to walk because I don't have a car. Oh, girl, I wish you lived closer. I was giving people rides left and right. Because I know there's a couple of friends of my kids that their parents don't drive because they have to go to work and stuff. And the 2-hour delay puts it in the middle of everybody's everything. So I was spending a lot of my time shuttling the kids that didn't have rides just because I'm that person. I would let my kids stay home at some point. Same, but I shuttle my kids. My kid doesn't even wear a jacket. The older one doesn't even wear a jacket out of the house. He wears a hoodie. So that gives you an idea that the child has not touched snow. You're going to try and find home last Sunday. After 2 flight cancellations, we got home Monday night at 11:40 and had to walk up the driveway. Yikes. And it was probably still totally snowy. They all say it's fine. The kids are resilient. That's not the point. I don't want them out in the snow walking to school. Amen. That reaches a point where it's too cold. Oh, thanks, everybody. All right, back to selling stuff. We're not going to do the Morticia because I want her to grow up. She needs to be a little bit bigger. She doesn't look beautiful yet, and I don't think that she'll fetch the price she deserves. And now that I believe, are there any other under 18 people on here before I continue? Because I'd like to get a little adulty. But I want to make sure everybody is okay. That's the other thing. It messes up parents who aren't flexible with their schedule. Yeah. I mean, as a person that worked in the corporate world, it is your job doesn't care. If there's under 18, please let me know. It's difficult for me because my live is currently over 18 on Palm Street and under 18 on YouTube. So if there are any people on YouTube that are under 18, please let me know. Can you show me another plant that doesn't involve leaves? I think we lost you, didn't we, Kathleen? Anyways, that doesn't involve leaves. Well, the epipremnum will grow leaves. I'm a little confused about that one, but I am going to sell something. All right. Monstera Delicioso, Yellow Maryland. Look at that. So you may be asking yourself, what is the difference between all of these? I will give you a quick rundown on the variegated Monstera. This is a... So Monstera Delicioso, Yellow Maryland, TC, and I'm going to start it off at 23 because that's the number Kenny picked before, and we're sticking with that. There is only one available. She is gorgeously rooted. Boom. Look at that. Wrapped around the jar a couple of times. And although she doesn't have a ton of leaves, take a look at that one. That one's going to show you how variegated this gorgeous guy is going to be when she gets bigger. And now I will go ahead and explain some about the differences after I read some comments. Let's pop her up real quick. Take a look at those roots. Ah, rooty roots. Okay. All right. Why don't kids ever wear jackets? I swear it's always an issue here too. I know. We literally had to pull teeth for jackets. I don't understand. I'm going to be inside all day. Yeah, but the times that you're outside, don't you want to be warm? I mean, I don't understand it. And sneakers. Whatever. Cactus or Venus flytrap. We don't have any of those available for sale today. Maybe we do, actually. Not cactus. I haven't worked on cactus yet. I'm going to be doing seeds here real soon off of my, what is it? It's my cylindrical Sansevier. Not technically a cactus, more of a succulent. But nonetheless, I haven't worked with cactuses before, so I don't know if that was the question. Oh, that was a suggestion for Ava's under 18. Right. She popped off, so, right? She's gone? I don't want to be smoking in front of Ava. Do we have any acclimated monsteras? Yep, we're going to go ahead and switch over to acclimated ones because the only thing I have left in vitro is a filamentosa. Let's do this filamentosa real quick, and since there has been a request for the monsteras, we will immediately move into the monsteras, the acclimated monsteras. This is a Monstera filamentosa, not to be confused with an obliqua. There was a person on here once that insisted this was a mutation of the obliqua. If you go ahead and look it up, you see it is not, is an independently named plant and looks nothing like the obliqua in its mature form. But at its smaller form, as you see in front of us, filamentosa, I'm missing the O. And for some reason, my autocorrect just wants to bring up filament, probably because I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. All right, a filamentosa TC. I forgot to add that because I think we might actually have one for sale today. No filamentosa. I forgot I sold the last one we have, and I haven't acclimated yet any of the other ones. I am the only person to have this in culture. I am one of the few people that actually owns a true filamentosa from the correct nursery. And as far as I know, I am the only person that has this in TC. It does come from the correct nursery. The actual originator of this plant, this particular hybrid. And if you want to see what a mature plant looks like, I highly recommend you go and Google it. So this is our last tissue culture for the day. It is a Monstera filamentosa. And so there is that. All right. No more comments. We are going to move on to Monstera, though. So that is it for cultures today. And we'll start with acclimated Monstera. Oh, I didn't offer a big bill. Let me just pop one up because I didn't see an answer. We're going to make one big bill real quick while that last minute of the timer runs out. We are going to call this Big Bill Anthurium Big Bill. And I'm just going to call it 8 because I don't even remember what number I was on. And we will do it also as a $1 start auction. So there you go, friends. Last big bill we're offering for the night is this guy right here. In vitro, at least. I know I do have a couple of acclimated. For anybody that doesn't know what the difference is, in vitro means that they're still in these bags and jars in media. Acclimated means that they are sitting out in the real world and have already gone through the process of being switched from the bag or jar that they live in while they're multiplying to the real world. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny's my right-hand man. I may grab that when I come in Anthurium Big Bill. That'd be fun. They are so cool. I do need to do a leaf update. Congratulations, Sleepy Gecko Franz. You got that one. Ooh, I need to put the number on it. And our giveaway is going off at the perfect time because I am going to go ahead and grab some acclimated plants. Hey, Marmy, since you're on it today, if you see anybody else pop in from YouTube and I somehow miss it, let me know. I don't want to be smoking or swearing in front of any YouTube folks in case we do reach a younger audience. Having kids myself, I certainly understand. Does everybody want to see Kenny's original shirt again? He never actually changed. He just covered it up briefly. He was like, look, shirt's gone. His shirt's pretty funny. Sorry, no, the filamentosa. You have two big bills. The filamentosa is an extremely rare, like I don't want to say super duper rare. Here's Kenny with our shirt. I wonder if life smokes after it fucks me. Yes, that was the shirt Kenny was wearing. So that's how we roll around here. All right, let's go ahead and find something to give away. Oh, this is the perfect segue for me, guys, to show you, for those of you that haven't seen the video about our El Chocos. I'm going to do that as our first giveaway because I haven't gotten, sorry, I saw the comment and got distracted because I haven't, in case you haven't seen the Gabriella video. So I know what I'm going to be doing first giveaway. Okay, and then we'll do some Monsteras for sale. And some Monsteras. Yes. Where's my favorite? And I found one today or yesterday that had me literally panting at how beautiful it was. God, my favorite part about my job is when I get to come into the lab and look around all my new leaves. Oh, I love it so much. I often take pictures, but I don't often post, and that's my big problem. All right, let's do a little obliqua action, a whirly Escalido. And do these guys. And Siriana, I want Siriana. And did I get an Anisoni? I did. Is that everybody? Okay. Yeah, Silver Kenya are two new. Okay, this is all of the, yeah, I know I picked the best ones. I did pick my favorite ones for you folks. My username is Lily. Okay. Good to know. All right. Okay. Hey, Sam Fanspa, good to see you. It's going well. You just missed tissue cultures. We just wrapped up that part of the show, so we are going to be moving on to that. Mari is going to switch over again and ask. You have YouTube. Okay. Thank you. And yeah, his shirt is appropriate. His shirt is completely inappropriate, and that's why. Are you still watching, or are you going back to Roblox? I want the plants to have to leave. I'm not sure what that means. You want to watch the plants? We can go back to being under 18 if you don't want to play Roblox. I love the new leaves and watching them unfurl as well. I did autocorrect Tank Girl because I know that's what you meant. But I don't have nearly as many as you get to see. That is the cool part about owning so much, and that is part of why I always excuse the new purchase as a reason for me. Business expense. Everything's a business expense nowadays. We all call it. I want the plants that have to leave. Okay, well, that was my last comment, and I just reread it twice, so ignore me. All right, we're going to do our next giveaway. We are on G3, if I'm not wrong, because we did 2 big bills. In vitro, and our next one is going to be acclimated plants, and it'll give me an opportunity to talk about my most recent video. For those that you are religious watchers of my content, you will have probably already seen what I'm about to talk about in a muted version, like just a little. I'm just going to run over it real quick so that everybody knows what's going on with these plants, because they're funky, and not everybody is following us on social media, and if you're not, why not? It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll be on top of all our giveaways and what's going on with the lab. And information like this, which at the end of the day, that looks like G8 again. I don't know what's up with my writing today. Do me a favor, and can you turn on the light in case we lose? We should be seeing the lights shut off. That one must be set for earlier in the day. This light, Kenny, if you turn on these, that way, because these are due to go off in the next hour, I would say. Everyone's a little off schedule. Perfect. Thank you. We were on G3, and that's why I'm having so many problems. G3, and I again wrote 5 or 6 or something. I don't know. Just writing random numbers. That's not going to help with the organization. Can you turn it down just a smidge? I'm feeling washed out. Kenny was joking that he's Quasimodo from Young Frankenstein. If you haven't seen Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder, you should. It is freaking hilarious. It is so darn hilarious. Into that reel, I mean, don't go into it expecting like a high cinematography quality movie. This is a cheesy comedy. This is a comedy that may or may not have been on Mystery Science Theater 3000. And if you don't know what that is, then yeah, you and I don't share similar movie tastes. Or TV show tastes, obviously. So there's that. Because that is probably a large chunk of what I watch. Anime and cheesy sci-fi. Comedy. I'll do comedy once in a while. I don't like drama. I don't like to have to think about things being serious. Because that sucks. So it's either going to be totally fantastical or funny. All right, giveaway G3, and that will be 2 plants that I imported last year. This time, I think it was last May, March. It feels like a month. They are both overloaded with gibberellins. G3, philo. And I will explain what that means in just a minute. Choco and Veru. So one of our Chocos and one of our Verus that are currently still working on dealing with what I call gibberellin overload. That's what I'm calling it. There was very little research on what I was able to find, but enough research for me to know that I was right, and enough experts agree with me that that's what we're calling it. And that's your start, and I'll explain more in just a minute because I want to catch up on comments once I post your giveaway, and then we'll start with the Monsteras. Hey, that's the best justification buying plants. Well, thank you, Shameless. You feel me. My little sister's being in trouble. It's almost time for bed. My daughter and I love anime, too. See, those are awesome things. There's a new anime out. Well, it's like kind of new. It came out, a year or 2 ago, called Frieren. If you have not seen Frieren, if you like a strong, smart, really cool female character, Frieren is the one that you want to watch. I'm telling you. F-R-E-I-R-E-N. Frieren. My son turned me on to it, and it is by far my favorite anime currently. I mean, I like a lot of anime that you can't necessarily share with your kids. Seeing that my first introduction to anime was the movie called Ninja Scroll. If you've seen that, you are definitely over 18. And Yeah, you would understand why some of my anime tastes are a little bit different. But with kids, I have focused on the more family-friendly ones. And Frieren is totally okay for kids under mild violence. That would be the only thing that you need to worry about in that one. There is no sex, smoking, drugs, none of that. There is some drinking. There's an alcoholic priest. But hey, we all have that alcoholic family member, right? Kenny's giving me looks again. Anyways, Frieren, check it out. I believe they just started season 2, if I'm not wrong. I think it's 3 episodes in. I'm the kind of person that waits until the whole thing's loaded because I want to binge. I don't want to be teased. All right, let's talk about Giverellin Overload real quick, and I will start selling you some Monsteras. The first Monstera I'm going to pop up is a Monstera obliqua. It is going to be one of the cutest little obliquas. Obliquas are climbers. This is a cutting from when I put mine in tissue culture. My obliquas are gorgeous. Their fenestrations are stunning. And the plant has this cute, I think they're cuter when they're small, to be honest. I do love the fenestrations when it gets older because they are so holy. There you go. That is how it's supposed to look. But I think they're cute when they're tiny. All right, Monstera obliqua. I mean, it's not necessarily making sense for me to talk about Giverellin Overload when I'm doing Monstera because these are all my Monstera. None of these are sick. Well, I don't even want to say sick, but I do want to explain Giverellin Overload. Oh, and if anybody needs me to talk about shipping again, if you've been watching or you haven't been watching and you are thinking about buying a plant, I am happy to talk about the current situation with shipping. We are going to be shipping, but we can make accommodations for people that have it so cold that they do not want to ship. And let me know if there's anybody out there that needs help with that. Monstera obliqua. I'm only going to do one today. I'm only going to do one of each plant. We have so many plant varieties in here. I'm probably just going to pop up one unless there's a huge amount of interest. So here you go. Monstera obliqua, 3-inch pot. This comes from a cutting of my plant, my mother plant when I put her in culture. If you see a cutting around here, it means that I put the plant in culture or that it grew too much or broke. We don't intentionally usually cut plants around here for multiplication purposes. I like to leave mine get big, and plus we like to sell them. So if it is something that we do want to multiply for tissue culture, of course I have to cut it. If it's not, you'll see they get pretty big. We actually had to create a new shelf that you'll see in the tour. I am doing another video with the tour for the update of guessing the number of plants in the lab giveaway. So make sure you check out that video as well as our little update there. But yeah, so I will show you, you see the shelves of the tall stuff. Like we have a Burley Marks flame that is now up to 3 feet. I like big plants and I cannot lie. Sorry. Kenny is again staring at me and thinking I'm crazy. Congratulations for the obliqua. Up next, we're going to pop up a Thai constellation. I know most of you already have your Thai constellation, but mine are better. Like, boom, mine are gorgeous. I mean, okay, there are some really cool variations out there, like Winter Snow, I think it was called, or a new Tycon that is like, but as for your classic, original, OG Tycon, this baby's hard to beat. So if you did not go out and buy your Monstera Tycon yet, constellation, make sure you're grabbing one here. 3-inch pots. Monstera. We're just going to put up one for today. This is my favoriteest that's currently in the lab. There you go. Sorry, I keep taking it off screen. Very well rooted. The reason I love these clear pots is that, look at those roots. Gorgeous root. She's not huge, but she is beautiful. And since I made it, it's probably better than pretty much everybody else's because I made it. It's mine. All right. Anyways. Oh, since we're doing Monstera, and I did mention to you folks that I was going to talk about the difference between Yellow Maryland and Albos and stuff like that, why don't I actually do the Monstera discussion and save the Giverellin discussion for a little while? So we will talk about Monsteras. You may be hearing a lot of fancy names if you're new to Monsteras, things like Monstera Delicioso Yellow Maryland. Okay, you are the best winter shipper, period. Thank you. Sam Fanspa actually holds the record as the package that was videoed for shipping the furthest. Okay, let me clarify. So we've had one package that was lost for 14 days, and we did not receive a video on how the plants arrived, but they were in perfect condition, and they are the current winner. That person has asked not to have their name revealed, but Sam Fanspa actually took a video of her plants, which got lost in shipping and were shipped around for 11 days. So she's our current record holder that we can actually verify. She's our current record holder with receipts. Let's put it that way. If your plants get lost, our live arrival guarantee still applies. We are live arrival. I mean, we will put in stuff like that. But our plants have made it quite some time in shipping, because it's all about the quality here. We focus on the plant being in good shape before we try and put it in a box and send it to you. So there's that. All right. But yes, heat packs. Thank you, noobs. I'm going to pin it again for anybody because it is 100% required right now for shipping because it's so cold here. I'm saying it's getting up to the 20s tomorrow, up to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And I love to say it in C right now, Celsius right now, but my son hates that I use Celsius, so I have to be very careful. But our current temperature outside in Celsius is negative 13. Doesn't it sound? Oh! Anyways, all right. Kenny's laughing. It's been negative overnight as well. Exactly. Crazy. Hello, Kindred Lotus Pod 19. We are going to do another Monstera up next. Let's do an Esquilito. This is a cutting that I made from my mother plant, and she is just starting to look gorgeous. I can show you Mama Esquilito. She's not too far off. Right there. Let me see. I can't zoom in, though. All right, so this plant here, if you see these very large, they're almost oval shaped, and of course we're losing the light now. She's gorgeous. They look like a big obliqua, I guess would be, or a big Adansoni. So they get really chonky leaves, and they still have these gorgeous fenestrations. I mean, look, she's still itty bitty, and she is growing into her fenestrations already. We have new growth. No, not yet, but we have at least one node going on. And let's see our root situation. I see them at the top. Boop. I don't think we've reached the bottom yet. You may have. We'll see. There's probably some down in there. All right, Esquilito, Monstera Esquilito. This is from Cutting, Not Culture. But it is rooted, I guarantee. Looking very happy, as you can see. Esquilito. And after I pop this up, I will be talking about Esqua, S-Q-U-A. Oh, that's Little Dragon. Little Dragon just came on the tablet, and she is another person that if you are not listening to them, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So, Monstera Esquilito. These are in a 4-inch pot, but I made it. It's mine, and I literally cut it off my plant. So, here you go. There we go. Oops. I keep pushing buttons because I'm distracted by her voice. If you like a beautiful, dreamy woman singer, Little Dragon. That's the way to go, friends. Gorgeous musician. And I'm not talking about what they look like. I don't think that I've ever looked them up. I don't always do that. Monstera Esquilito, nicely rooted. It is a cutting from my big boy. All right, quick discussion about the different types of Monstera Deliciosos that are available. So you'll see a ton of names out there. Shamrock Shake is the one that I'm currently looking for. So if anybody sees that guy at a really gorgeous sample at an acceptable price, I mean, they're pretty pricey right now, but I mean, I'm not spending thousands of dollars on any plant. I don't care what it is. So a gorgeous Shamrock Shake is what I'm looking for. While we're discussing this, we'll pull up this one, which you're probably going to see everywhere now. Monstera Delicioso Mints. These are all forms of Delicioso. So Monstera delicioso, just like the green one that you'll find, IKEA has big ones all the time. Other big box stores always carry the green. I mean, it would be hard not to find the green. I know they're replacing them some with albos now. But there are two forms of delicioso that people aren't always aware from. They are the large form and the small form, sometimes called the Borzignana. And I'm probably saying that wrong because, I make up the pronunciations as I go. So, if available, will I run the filamentosa again? Okay. Sorry I had to log off. My little sister was being in trouble, but I'm sorry back. No worries. We are here. So I will run the filamentosa again for bubble waffle. This is the one in vitro, and I will come back to the Monstera mint and continue my delicioso discussions once I find that filamentosa. The table's starting to get full because I didn't take a break. There we go. Filamentosa. Gorgeous filamentosa. Take a look at this. Look at the roots on that. When I see my cultures are better, friends, this is why. I understand that to some people, this looks like a mess compared to what they've put online with the perfect shaped leaves and everything like this. When I see that, what I see is an extremely healthy, very well-rooted, happy tissue culture in here. I have not removed the leaf death. I have not overloaded this plant to make the leaves look fuller. They look exactly like they're supposed to. These are unedited, which is sometimes why they look a little wrinkly. And as you know, a lot of people, or you may not know, I guess I should change that. A lot of tissue culture people now are adding gibberellins to their tissue culture to make them prettier in culture. I'll show you what it does to the plants here when I revisit that after we finished talking about the variegated monsteras. But where I had left off the monstera conversation, I was pointing out that the Borzignana is a smaller form monstera. Now, I need to do a video to show you my large form and small form side by side. But I did cut my large form fester not too long ago, so I don't have a large form example. The difference comes in the way that the plant grows. And congratulations, Bubble Waffle. Large form is going to have a tighter internodal spacing. You're only going to have a little bit of space in between those nodes. Small form is going to have larger internodal spacing. Even if the light source is at the same location, one is a true crawler and one is closer to a climber, although still being a crawler. So depending on how you treat those two different, you can come out a little different. The other thing is going to be mature leaf size. The Borzignana will never be as large. No matter how old the plant is, the leaf will never get to the size of a large form. When that comes down to variegated monstera, this yellow Maryland that I showed you folks a little bit ago, this is going to be your large form. This is going to be a big boy. When it grows up, it is going to want to crawl. There is not going to be a large internodal spacing in between those. When it comes down to Monstera delicioso aurea, that is your Borzignana, your smaller form. Around here, my Monstera delicioso albo that I grew from a node and named Morticia is our small form. Our large form is Fester. And I don't have good pictures of Fester because Fester is currently a node trying to decide whether he wants to live, and a couple of cuttings that I sent out to other people. So he did take in culture. So we will have a large form albo in-house and a small form albo in-house very soon. We do have both the aurea and the yellow Maryland, but the only thing I have this week is the yellow Maryland. All right, that is my entire discussion of Monstera deliciosos and their variegated names and forms. I'm going to get off that, and we're going to go on to some other monsteras. We're going to do a burl marks flame right here. We have not put this guy up yet. Cool. Anyways, I'm going to say I'm going to use but a flower. Oh, yeah. Marmy suggested, so this is for Ava. Ava's comment was, cool. Anyways, as I've been saying, I want a plant with no leaves but a flower. And Marmy actually answered that for me probably better than I would have done. Cactus, but you have to be really careful about the spines on those. Echeveria is a good one. Well, those they don't have leaves. They have more of like I'll show you some Echeveria later, but it might be a good option for you. But things without true leaves, I mean, carnivores, you could totally go down the carnivore road. That's really up to you. So there's that. Thank you for running it again. No problem, Bubble Waffle. I am happy to get your plants in your hands. Natty Aeroid. We do not have large. I'll show you what we have left. These are not fester. Okay. And I will explain fester again in just a minute. Before I run that Broly, give me a minute. Okay. So we have a large form albo that I put in tissue culture recently. I did a live here on Palm Street, and I think it was broadcast on YouTube that showed that. And I sold the cuttings from that particular plant. His name was Fester. Fester was a dead-headed node that came to me. He has a long story that I will do a video of someday. I did a video on Morticia, which is our small form albo. So both Morticia and Fester are in culture. Morticia's producing plants on a regular basis, whereas Fester was just cut, I want to say, a month ago. He's shown growth. I have some that aren't contaminated, and they're subcultured and multiplying right now. Now that you've had that little rundown, I do actually have Monstera delicioso large form available. These are not Fester. Just an FYI, it is large form. I actually got these off of a local friend. I didn't see her pop in today, but these come from her. These are her large form. I did not name it yet, but we can go ahead and run these. These are a pain in the butt to ship, so bear with me. All right. Can you show me the plant now? Because it's past my bedtime, but my mom's allowing me to lay in bed with my tablet. Okay, Liz is looking for an Aurea, a Maryland, or a lemon lime. We do have a Monstera delicioso Aurea. We don't have any Maryland's acclimated. We only have those in culture right now. We have quite a few Aureas, actually. We have a lot of options of Aureas. And I'm trying to think. The lemon lime is coming in tissue culture in this next order, as well as Bulbasaur from in-house tissue culture will be available in about, I'll say 2 months. 2 months in the Bulbasaur. But then they will be they will be around $100. That's what I'm aiming for as price point. So just an FYI. And those are all fancy deliciosos. So I'm going to go ahead and run this albo, and I'll collect some Aureas for you, Liz, because you asked for those. And that's the only thing that we have out of culture as far as the list that you sent us. So delicioso albo. This guy's going to be a pain in the butt to ship only because you have this one large leaf. But take a look. You do have new growth right there. I'm trying to get a good shot of it so you can see it is stripy because that is important on a delicioso. So chimeric variegation, and if you don't know what chimeric variegation is, I am happy to explain it to you folks sometime. But chimeric variegation, which this Monstera delicioso is, usually requires striping on the stem for you to understand where the plant is growing, whether or not it's going to have variegation. That has striping. Meaning, and there's a lot more striping on this side as well, meaning this plant will be variegated. See the mother, the initial growth shows striping, and there's striping here. So this Monstera delicioso, having this variegated original leaf, it is a cutting, but it will be variegated. We already see new growth on that. All right. So here we go. I'm going to put it up right now. We're going to start the bidding at, I think, 26. This is a Monstera delicioso albo, large form albo, not Fester. And if you're new here, that means nothing to you. I'm not discussing it again on this live, but keep your eyes on our social medias because we do have some videos coming up. All right, I'm going to start this guy for 26. It is heavily rooted. I did not put it in this pot before it was rooted. That's also why it's in this ginormous 5-inch pots. These are some of my all-time favorite bots. I'm trying to think, they come from what? Rooted something. I don't know. They're really cool. But we do have those for sale in our Palm Street shop. I actually closed my Etsy. So Monstera delicioso, large form, one leaf cutting with brandy new growth that is most assuredly going to be variegated. It is heavily rooted, or I would not have put it in a pot this size. And I'm going to read some comments. I do have to grab those plants for you real quick, darling. I know you have to get off soon. Are you streaming on YouTube and Palm Street at the same time? Plant Dad 444. I am indeed streaming on both at the same time. Nobody wants this gorgeous baby. Oh my goodness, that's all right. She's a pain in the butt to ship. Let me find something smaller. Liz, you're picking up, aren't you? So we can get you bigger plants too. All right, I will get back to Monstera and Aureus here in a moment, but I wanted to accommodate Ava real quick because I know she's up against her bedtime. Do you do your own TC? I do much of my own TC. There is a difference here, and I will make it very clear whether it is imported, which I do a couple of times a year. The bag is a big clue, or whether I made it myself. But we already sold the in vitros for today. I don't have any more available unless you look in. I guess you guys can actually see what's still available because Bubble Waffle did ask me to rerun the filamentosa. We're happy to rerun anything that we already ran. I know there are a couple that did not sell. It's cactus. Kenny's twitching because there's cactus on the table. He is not a big fan of cactus because he could get hurt. So we're going to run through these opunitas real quick. This is mostly for Bubble Waffle. So these are variegated cactus. These are Opunita in the same family as the prickly pear. Oh! Boo! Stop! Oh, it's going to fall in their spines. All right, we're not messing with that one. Thank you, Kenny. I got to put her away because she's going to hurt me. I love cactus, how they look. But why?
They are dangerous.
Okay. We'll do one that's not going to fall out, or at least I won't tip it as far, I guess. I'm just going to try and put it up there. I was trying to show you the variegation. So these are indeed cactus. These are indeed spines. Ouch. That's why Kenny twitches when he sees me pull them out. And I'm going to go ahead and put that up.
So pretty.
And they are gorgeous. They are one of my favorites. But they are a pain in the butt. If you are a cactus lover, if you're a little bit into S&M, that's the cleanest way I can put it. This is Opunita. And we all know I like it rough. Variegated Opunita. If I didn't, I wouldn't love cactus, right? I always got to add a little challenge into my life, I guess is what it is. I get bored otherwise. So there is that. Variegated Opunita. Anybody else have the fancy for the weird? Nicely variegated on this one. She's pretty cool. I like her a lot. The variegation, the way the two petals came out too. I like the way she grew. Some will grow in really weird spots, but this one almost lined up like a gem. She was like, woo-hoo. Looking almost like a chain link. I'm loving her. They have dropped their spines for winter though. You can tell they're in cactus mode. doing the cactus things that they do. It's so weird and dangerous. Congratulations, Shameless. You got that. Is there another Bali for sale? Oh, yeah, I think we have another one. Hey, Planta, good to see you. Did you want the Bali in vitro? We have a really weird one. We had one weird one I didn't want to put up because it was weird, but I could do it as a $1 start. We have a bunch acclimated that look really pretty. So let me know which one you want. I need to put this away before somebody gets hurt. Like walking around with a dangerous weapon. Watch it. I'm armed with a cactus. Yeah, I need to put that away before I hurt myself. Because I've gotten some really bad interactions at one point in time. I accidentally grasped cactus to my chest, a handful of little cactus to my chest because my child was running away and I needed my hand. And oh my goodness, it was weeks before I was able to wear a shirt without crying, I guess would be the best way to put it. So it was bad.
Like, run, child.
Right? Yeah, I should have left him running traffic that time. It would have been worth it not to be picking cactus spines out of all of this for so long. It was terrible. All right. I also work in TC. I'm putting the Devil Monster in TC this week. Awesome. We've got a White Monster in TC. That's another one. These are, again, Monstera Delicioso variants. So just anybody, I didn't mention those. And I know there's a couple other names I did not mention, but the Delicioso has a lot of names for the variegation. Just an FYI. Why was that when I can look like it? Hold on. Why was that when can I look like it was like expired? I did not understand that, Ava. Can you try again? Sorry, did you say heat packs are needed for TC2? This time of year, yes. We are currently at the point where your media will freeze, without a doubt. Even with thermal shipping, if that gets put in the Roots carrier for a little while, there's absolutely very little chance. I'm not importing either. My import order was supposed to ship the 29th. I know there are a lot of you that have imports coming in on this one, but I pushed it back because I want to get plants that are alive. And that shipping is immaculate, considering it never touches a heat pack. It is really amazing how well it is shipped. But anyways, we are doing that one. If you have one, you know I love weird. You bet. You'll take the in vitro? Okay, I'll go ahead and run that guy here in just a minute, Shameless. Nice. White Monster is gorgeous. So Bulbasaur. Yeah, I know. I do love them both. Hey, glance at it. If you find a Shamrock Shake, I mean, maybe we can figure out a tradesies. You know, I've got Lemon Lime, Bulbasaur, White Monster, Electrolyte, and the Oreos and the Albos. So let me know. I really, really, really want Shamrock Shake. I got a problem. Otherwise, we wouldn't have all this. And I wouldn't call it a problem. I have a love, a passion, the most beautiful things. Okay, Ava, this is another option for you. This is Sansevieria. This is technically a leaf, but again, it's kind of like the other one. These are Sansevieria Whitney. They are cutely variegated. You've probably seen like the black coral, or what is another popular one that the Doo-Doo and Lowe's and Home Depot. I know I always see the black coral. That's probably their most frequent one. This guy is called a Whitney. This is a Sansevieria with no label. I went to look at the label for the spelling, and it's not on there. Sansevieria. I'm going to look it up, guys, because I'm probably going to end up printing a label. Sansevieria, right? If I'm not wrong, Viera. There it is. I was so close. Sansevieria. All right. And it looks like our last giveaway went. Sansevieria. The V needs to go in here. Vieria. Sansevieria. This one is called Whitney. Whitney, cutely variegated. I don't know if it's Whitney with one T. What I love when there's no labels on here. I just sit here and go, trust me, bro. If I didn't know my plants, I'd be worried about it. But this is indeed a Sansevieria Whitney. And we have these on a semi-regular basis because as a person who has always loved plants and just turned it into something that I can do as a job, I went down the Sansevieria road. We actually have variegated money tree and money plant, Chinese money plant, as well as African violets and stuff like that. I went on that little sidetrack just for anybody who heard the drama earlier. But we did do bunch of cool Sansevierias. I actually have whale fins and stuff I very rarely post in here because you'll see there's not a lot of interest. Despite the fact that these are super cool to me, a lot of people like their aeroids. So I feel like Sansevieria are underrated. This one, this cylindrical Sansevieria, look how cool this guy is. Tell me this isn't rad. It looks like a stick. This does not look like a leaf. This is another Sansevieria, and it is called cylindrica. It is very cool and not particularly common. So if anybody wants me to run it, I will. It's crazy rooted and about to pop up out of this pot. So I'm going to have to, this one, increase the price here in a little bit. As soon as I have to pot it, I have to charge you for the labor. All right. Sorry, autocorrect. Ignore what I meant. I was, yes, looking inspired. This is for everything that fell out of the pot. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. You'll keep my eyes out. Do you need import permit for overseas TC? Plant Dad, if you are ordering less than 12 tissue cultures per import, then you do not need an import license. If you are importing anything over that, which with the fees, it doesn't make sense to do 12, you will need an import license. It's not hard to get. It just requires some money and the government to finish filling out the forms for you, and then magically you'll have an import license. And then you may or may not have to add certain things into it and realize that some plants can and cannot come out of your region. It goes in hand with your nursery license. So you do need to keep an eye out for that. In your state, it will vary a little bit, but for me, I just had to go onto the website and put a lot of information in. So there's that. So it is a national international permit, so it's the United States import permit, but then you need to pay attention to your local state regulations is what I was trying to get to when it came to that. If you need more information, hit me up offline and I can give you more details that are escaping my mind right now because that was not a question I planned to be asked. I'm attempting to acclimate a starlight right now. Oh, send us updates. You know I love it. I'll probably never post it, but I would love to see it. Plus, it's not my plant. Why would I post it? I still want to see yours, though. I would love to see plant pictures. Everybody knows I love them. Thank you, Bubble Waffle. Oh, my goodness. I know. I was really struggling with that. Sometimes these plant names get me. All right. Do you have an aloe vera, like the draw one? I mean, the slimy one with the gel. Oh, yeah. We have a lot of the regular aloes. I can grab some of those. I didn't hear if you said you are delaying shipping. I didn't hear if you said you are delaying shipping. So when is your next shipping date? Bubble Waffle, we are shipping tomorrow. We are up to the 20s tomorrow. As long as that is the case when I wake up, we are going to go ahead and ship out everybody's stuff. The only time we will not ship is if it drops below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That's kind of my cutoff. And that is 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which we have been at night. But I'm not too worried about it at night. Most of the time, people will either be in a truck moving or they will be in like a warehousing location, especially with 2-day shipping. You're usually just like motoring along. And you will have a heat pack. So as long as we're not dropping below 0 and the heat pack, that's the thing. If you read the heat packs, they stop becoming effective under, did I get that right? Is it 0 degrees off? But either way. So after a certain temperature, heat packs no longer become effective, and that's where we cross the line. But tomorrow we will be shipping. And we will try every Monday and Tuesday. Every Monday and Tuesday, we'll take a look at the weather. Every Monday and Tuesday, if we do not ship, we will let everybody know. Every Monday and Tuesday, if you want your stuff delayed because your particular location looks horrible, but I'm still shipping, let me know. It costs nothing. It's just a dicey time of year to ship. All right. Yep, that's what I read. So I don't think some people told me that you don't need a license, but I believe they're U.S. brokers that receive on behalf of the TC Lab and then reship from the U.S. Yes, that would be the case, and then they are usually adding their fee in there. There are a lot of people that are representing themselves as sellers that are actually just importers, shippers, flippers, I guess would be the best way to talk about them. Okay, you got me. All right. Thank you, everybody. Everybody's good. All right. So I'm going to show one. Now I got these Monstera in front of me. I'm going to do the Monstera first, and then Ava, if you're still on, I will show you the other aloe that we have, the most basic of all aloes, the one that has the jelly that they literally made a anti-burn thing out of. I have a lot of herbs for medicinal purposes. I don't want to say I'm a witch, but apothecary, alchemist. The world around us is not being taken advantage of anymore, and only a few people are supposed to have the keys to that kind of stuff. And around here, we like to make our own kind of stuff and see how it works out. All right, so witch. We talked about this. One of my friends in actually college had said that, if I moved to Massachusetts, she promised if there were any more Salem witch trials that she would hide me, because we all agree that she wasn't getting burned and I most assuredly was going to be. We're making a coven. Noobs, we got another. Ooh, we are almost there. All right. We're bleeding with money. If I can't have that, are there any inexpensive ones? I just need ones that are free. Okay. Well, we're going to, I hear about the money thing. Everybody's a little bit tight right now. So we are doing our best when it comes to pricing. Speaking of, let's get back to selling some plants. And there's no giveaway going on right now. I just realized that, didn't I? Because the giveaway went and then I forgot about it. And nobody called me out. Hello, Marmy? Noobs? Somebody? No giveaway? All right, we have an hour and a half before I have to leave. So, oh no, a witch. I'm going to go ahead and put up a new giveaway. We did these. Who are we going to do next? Oh, let's do a phylogenic snowdrift. Look beautiful. Let me show you my snowdrifts. Okay, next giveaway is a philodendron snowdrift in a 3-inch pot. This guy right here. Look how pretty they came out. So pretty. G4. I think we are on the 4th giveaway for the day. G4. We lost Gorillas a while ago. I guess for 2 hours in, it makes sense that the album ended. All right, G4, philodendron snowdrift, very gorgeous baby in a 3-inch pot. They are stunning. I did actually inventory this guy. So just for anybody interested, these labels will now be appearing on our pots. I'm actually going to have to remove this guy from inventory since I sold him, or since I'm giving him away. So there is that. Philodendron snowdrift. I just said we weren't listening to gorillas, and tell me that AI isn't listening. If you don't know what the song that is currently going on, it is Gorillas is what I was trying to finish with that sentence. All right, philodendron snowdrift. Next giveaway, G3. Oh, I forgot to put the G3 in the description, and that will confuse me. Oh, it's 4. G4. What am I doing? Not paying attention because I'm hearing Melancholy Hill, which might be one of the most amazing pieces of music ever made. Just saying. All right, philodendron snowdrift is your next giveaway, and it is now active. Another giveaway is ongoing. How is that possible? It's not allowing me to do that. I think because I have to rerun the Anthurium Big Bill. It's asking me to. All right. Sorry, I wasn't growling at you folks. I was growling at the app that's being a pain in the butt. Because I think it's asking me to rerun the big bill because the winner didn't want it. So I think I have to do this next again. And then we'll go back to... No, it's still saying another giveaway is ongoing. You guys aren't seeing giveaway on your side, are you? I think what I should do... I don't know. I don't think I can do a giveaway. Why can't you just do a giveaway for subscribing? We have a couple of those going on. We have quite a few giveaways on our social medias. We have one where when we reach 1,000 people, we will be randomly selecting someone out of the comments. We have one where if you guess close to the right amount of plants, we will be picking the person that is the closest. Also, making your own business costs money. These pots are not free. Neither is the dirt, which might be surprising to some people that are new. But none of this is free. I do have to pay for both the pots and the dirt, and everything that's made here, I take my time and make it with my own labor, which is not free. So I think for what we do a lot of giveaways. So we keep in mind suggestions, but make sure to enter the giveaways that we have. And it looks like we don't have a giveaway going now, but I can't get it to start anyways. So there is that. I think I'm going to take a break and then try and come back and then see if I can get the giveaway going. So it's a good time to do that, I think. I will see you guys in like 15 minutes. I need to turn it off on here. So yeah, I need to do a few things. I'll see you guys in a moment.